Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis, and welcome to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. It's Friday, April 28, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius, and welcome to the program. It is about 10 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour, and again, thank you so much for joining the conversation for today. The phone lines will be open shortly, and you can call us at 466-0989 or at 662-0989. That is 466-0989 or at 662-0989. If you are in the USA and Canada, you can call us at 718-285-6984. or at 305 921 4619. If you are in the UK, you can call us at 033 344 0065. This is Voices for Friday, April 28, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the conversation for today. Welcome to the program. It's a beautiful Friday here in Sugar City, St. Kitts. And thank you so much for tuning in to WINNFM 98.9 for another edition of Voices. I'm Devon Cornelius, your host for today. There is a lot happening in the St. Kitts and Nevis, and this is an opportunity for you to lend your voice, your view, and your opinion to the discourse. The phone lines will be open very shortly, and you can call us. The local number is 466-0989 or 662-0989. What is the latest happening in St. Kitts and Nevis? What is on the minds, or what's being said throughout the length and breadth of St. Kitts and Nevis? What are people talking about? I want to hear what people are talking about. Are we talking about any new opportunities that we can grab here in St. Kitts and Nevis? Are we talking about something good that our young people in the country have done? Are we talking about politics? Are we talking about crime and violence? Are we talking about the government's performance? What are we talking about here in St. Kitts and Nevis? The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls. Call us today at 466-0989 or at 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or at 662-0989. The phone lines are open and we want to hear from you. We're not just saying, but the latest in terms of I don't even know which category I should put this one under. Okay, let me hold that thought and we'll take our first call for this morning. Hello, caller. You are on the air. Good morning.
Devon.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You had breakfast?
Yes, and it was good.
Okay, make sure your lunch don't have enough gas. Okay, I just have two little things to talk about.
Mm-hmm. All right.
First, now the Skellig people were on the station there a couple hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they were there talking about the Mac thing that they had there Wednesday. And a lot of laughing and kicking and giggling. Nothing wrong with that, but I trying to call them to let them know that hurricane season will start in the next 2 months. And when you look, everybody going somewhere about they're going to have a day of prayer that no hurricane could come and damage us in St. Kitts and Nevis. But nobody wouldn't pick up the phone because there is a problem, a disaster over here in Lodge waiting to happen. And I've been talking about that disaster now for years. Now, we see what's happening all over the world with landslide. And when landslide, they're covering up houses, cars, and so many persons are dying, covered up with mud. Well, we are not exceptional to these problems, these disasters. 3 years ago, there was a landslide over Frigate Bay, and a house almost tumbled down. Good thing that the land stop sliding before it get too far under the house. That's one. And over here in Lodge, there is a hillside. And when we have a lot of rains, a certain part of it, we don't have a little landslide down in the main road. Well, there are two old, tall coconut trees on the same hillside, and they're leaning over the main road. And the main road have high tension wires. And the coconut, them are so old that nobody don't go up there to pick them for years. Nobody been in trouble in them because they're old. And I've been calling them and talking to them and telling them that these trees here need to be chopped down. Do not wait until a hurricane season come and bring them down in the street and bust down the high tension wire and cause fire and people get electrocuted. And the noise talks on the radio. Oh yeah, okay, caller, we're gonna do that. Up to now, the tree them still there. And 2 months from now is hurricane. That's one. And now the march, that the day Monday supposed to be a workers' march, Labor Day march. Well, this is something has been up for years. And I do not think no union supposed to be attached to any political party. A union supposed to be by itself, impartial. But what has been laid down for years, the major union we had here, most of the members were people who work in the sugar industry. And so that had made the union very strong. But since the sugar industry done, a lot of the members, them, they stop paying, and so the union get weak. And we know fully well, when you hear about the St. Stephen's Trades and Labor Union, the political party that is called Labour Party, both of them attached to each other. And so therefore, unless the union don't come out and let people know, hey, listen, we are moving away from the association with the Labour Party. We do not associate with no political party. We are a union to represent everybody who works. We are here for that. We would not discriminate against anybody because you're not backing this party and that party. Because I'm going to show you, one time I remember they had a Labor Day march, and the leader of the political party and the leader of the same union that was attached, you know what his song was? Run away, Billy Hobart, run away. Run away, Billy Hobart, run away. Run, boy, run, you dirty son of a gun. If you don't run away, we're going to bang you on election day. Now, Billy Hobart was the leader of PAM party, and it was the leader of the Labour Party singing the song. And just because of the song and other things, well, people have it that way. They will then, okay, if you're a PAM or any other party, you can't come in the march. And that song there separated a lot of people. Labour against PAM and PAM against Labour. So it's time for these things to stop. Done with that. And union representatives supposed to be at the front of the march and not political leaders and telling people about coming in red and jamming and all this kind of thing with all the band them work on be there and the jamming. Jamming for what? All the people them need to do when they go to march, they work with the tools that they work with. You work with a shovel and a brush, clean the drain, work with them. If you work with a hoe, put it on your shoulder. Not go in there, go jam and walk up for the band and the pom-pom girls in front leading the Labor Day march. It's supposed to be a march for everybody who works, not no political people. And you see, if you go in there with a CCM shot, a NRP shot, a PAM shot, a PLP shot, people in there going to watch you bad. They're going to say, Inya, no for you. They're going to say, well, Inya for Labour people. That ain't supposed to be. Marches for everybody. Anyway, Devon, thank you for having me on the air. I think I had enough.
Yes, and Carter, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9 for Friday, April 28, 2023. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls. It is 21 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour. Caller, again, thank you so much for that. As you mentioned that, I almost forgot that Monday is a holiday. Monday is Labor Day. And as you were sharing your sentiments on, Labor Day and what it means for us to celebrate Labor Day. Labor Day is an annual holiday to celebrate the achievement of workers. It's for workers. Labor Day has its origins in the labor union movement, specifically the 8-hour day movement, which advocated 8 hours for work, 8 hours of recreation, and 8 hours for rest. So Labor Day, it's for workers to celebrate the achievements, so the celebration of the achievements of workers, and that's essentially what Labor Day is about. I gather from the input by the caller there that, and this is something that has been repeated over the years, where there is always a conversation surrounding the meaning or the celebration of Labor Day, particularly in the Caribbean, where you see that the labor parties, I think also in Barbados as well, and some other Caribbean countries, but it is perceived as a day for the political parties, the labor political parties. It is perceived as being a part of their celebrations or an activity for them. But I think the caller made some very solid points there, because I'm pretty sure that there are people who are of the view, perhaps they don't know, but let's say we're of the view that Labor Day is for labor parties across the Caribbean to celebrate. So it's being viewed as a political event rather a movement or an event to celebrate the achievements of workers. And there has long been a debate on this. I've seen people debate back and forth on this, especially on social media, about the meaning of Labor Day and what it means, and trying to emphasize that it is not a day for any political party to celebrate. I think what the reason why it is being perceived as a political event is because the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, or Labour parties generally, they come from the Labour movement or the Labour Union. So you have the St. Kitts Nevis Trades and Labour Union. I think that's where the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party came from. And so everything is seen as one. But there are different views and opinions, especially on this topic. I also think it's a sensitive topic because, as I've said, I've seen some very tense and strong, compelling debates and arguments on this topic. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Caller, you are on the air. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. What about you?
So far so good. It could be worse. I'm trying to see if I get over kind of host and cough that I had. Was trying some ordinary medicine, which I'm not accustomed to. So I spoke to a friend a while ago, and they was telling me to what happened to the bush. So I went outside and get all the bush together, and my voice has since improved since I started drinking. So at least you could hear me a bit clear at this moment. However, what I want to talk about, though, is the conversation that Sandra had a while ago concerning the services at the hospital. I think that we have some services at the hospital, some good and some are packets that are in between. And somewhere along the line, we need to raise the bar of standard. And to raise that bar, we might need to come up with some ideas to give incentives and bring them up to the level of similarly hotel workers, because hotel workers know that they have guests of which they have to be very strong attentive to, because they are the one who really pays them. And we need to find somewhere where we could sensitize the staff at the hospital to be more upbeat, that they could raise the bar and raise the level of standard. So I think that we need to do something like this. And we need to toe the line. The other thing is that when it comes to our local people in achieving goods and achieving things, we are lagging behind. We are more than those who have a right here from different islands like Dominica, St. Vincent, and so on, and Jamaica. But the good thing about it that they have, above and beyond us, they have associations. You have the Guyana associations, which they meet frequently, and you have the Dominican Republic Association, and the Jamaican Association, which they meet frequently, and those who have certain connection makes the connection to the ears of those who can do something, and so they are achieving their goals. And even in the job market, they really spread out and they really dominate those areas in the good kind of jobs that our local people might be expected to get, I would like to get. And so our people actually left behind. At the same time, if rain falls, sunshine, they show up to work. Our people will call in and say, hey, look, it's raining, so I can't get to come work. I'm a child sick and all of that. No, you can't do that. Those days are gone and they're behind us now. So you have a job, then it's time for you to work. You must show up on time. You must perform in the job, and so on. And not because you get it you by a political means or whatever means. We must be responsible for our action. Or else we'll be left behind and pushing up your nose at somebody else who come here and take the job and doing the work that you should have been doing. So there are some things that we need to look at and look within and ourselves to make sure that we hold up to the test of standards. I think I've said enough. I continue to listen after you, continue to see how best you can educate the people, because if you tell them enough time, they probably will understand and get the message. Have a good day.
All right, you two call and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on 98.9. It is 11:29. We'll take a short break to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation right here on WINNFM 98.9. Let's take this break, and we will be right back. Stick and stay.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Hey, where you going in such a hurry?
This VAT day, I head into all TDC retail stores to shop. TDC Home and Building Depot, Automotive Division, and City Drug Store in Nevis. I'm making sure that I get my 20% discount and VAT day reduction savings on 28 April.
Why, I know they always make we get the best VAT deal, you know. Will I come in with you?
It's much more than that. They're the VAT day specialists. So this VAT day, we go shop and save with TDC.
You don't know.
This offer is also available on shoptdcgroup.com. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Welcome back. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or at 662-0989. If you are in USA or Canada, you can call us at 718-285-6984 or 305-921-4619. Let's head back to the phone lines and we will take this call. Hello, caller. You are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Hope your day is fine so far.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. And you?
I'm okay. Not too fine that you can't really enjoy it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In terms of the match, the word labor, we can also say it means work. Yes. Coincidentally, there is a political party by that name, Labor.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Correct.
But I guess this thing is left up to the workers, you know. Because if the workers are serious about honoring that day in marching, I mean, have a non-alignment. You don't have to put on any political colors. And like as someone made mention of what happened years ago, take the tools. If you have your broom, carry it. Put the boots on your feet and you go. You know, and you can do a lot. The workers themselves can do a lot to change things when it comes to this match. It's up to the people. It's not left to the politicians alone or the political representatives. Now, moving on to the hospitals. I don't know what to say, really. But I personally believe that when it comes to defense, health, defense, security, health, education, these must be run or operated or manned by the citizens of any country. Now, if you're at the hospital and you have workers who come from overseas and cannot even speak the universal language, don't talk about the local language, but the universal language properly, what do you think are going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? So they bring in workers who could hardly speak English. So that language barrier is a problem. It is a problem. So you're going to have a lot of misdiagnosis and all of these things. And another thing again, once ago, when persons went to study medicine, it took them years to complete their course of study and internship before they can come out on their own. Today, how long does it take somebody to study right now? Let's say that persons who go to Cuba, well, I have to mention the name. I have to mention the name of the country, right? Let's say they go to Cuba. Mm-hmm. Many of them who leave from here, they go on a scholarship. Number one, who go, we don't know if they really want to study medicine, but only because the scholarship is available, they take that opportunity. They go there, they may not know how to speak Spanish. So they have to now learn how to speak Spanish. But at the same time, if I am wrong, I stand corrected. But at the same time, the classes are still being taught, or the subjects are still being taught. So you have students from here now who is in, well, they have to catch up quickly. They have to learn that Spanish quickly, and they have to understand what is happening, and they have to move ahead. So I don't know how they do it. And how long they study? Maybe about, 4 years? 3-4 years?
About that, yeah.
Well, how can one be a doctor adequately in that short space of time? Well, when do they do their internship? Because internship They still have to have an experienced doctor overseeing what they're doing there with the patient, especially if it's in the operating room. So they have to be guided along the way for quite a while, a number of years before they go ahead, can be satisfied that, all right, this person can operate by himself or herself. So that, again, we have a dilemma. Another thing, again, persons who come in, I know people don't like to hear this, but some of them who come in for the job, it's only a job they're looking, it's a job opportunity. They may not care about what is going on here because this is not their country of birth. Remember, this is not England. This is not somewhere in some other part of Europe. This is not in America. When we live here and we go those places, we put our best foot forward. We have to work 10 times harder and 10 times better because it is imperative for us to do so, to survive. That kind of criterion is not here in this country. So whoever come here, they just do as they like. And they might do the barest minimum just to maintain the job. At the end of the day, it's all about their pay. They don't have any allegiance, they don't have any loyalty to none of us here, especially if they don't look like us. So some of these students, some of these persons who they say they're going all over the place, all the halfway the world to get persons to come here, you got to watch it. They don't speak the language properly. And we don't know if they're really qualified in that area of medicine. We don't know. Because in the past, it is known that persons come here and fake what they call it, qualifications and all of that. And I can tell you this because I personally experienced that with someone in a conversation. They do fake. And because they're from outside, our local persons who are in the position feel like they are genuine or they are top of the line. So they don't do any digging, they don't, nothing. They just come. But when it comes to local people, they feel like local people paid for their paper overseas before they come here. Mind, I'm not saying that a lot of local people don't go overseas and farm the foal, A lot of them do, A lot of them do. But what I'm saying, the same kind of pressure that we put on the local persons to find out if they're qualified in this area, whatever, they should apply for those who are coming into, and don't take it for granted that because they're coming from outside, they're in the clear. Another thing again for the hospital, as I usually say, jack of all trades, master of none. It's time for us to have some areas of specialties. There's too much general practitioners. We need to have some doctors who specialize in certain areas apart from feminine care. We need to. You see? But I don't know, in terms of the hospital, I don't want people to come and speak as though like these problems just started. They were there a long time. They were there a long time. Everybody keeps talking and talking and talking over and over and over. But you see, when it suits some people, there is a problem. And if the opportunity changes for them, when they should be talking, because they are now in a position to speak so somebody could listen to them now, they don't talk. But when they go on the other side, they start to talk again. And it makes it seem like these problems just start. Now, if 1 year after the next, the problem is not addressed, of course it's going to get worse. It is going to get worse. And again, many of us do not concern ourselves with anything until it comes home to us. When we're in a position and we're getting what we want, we don't care about nobody else because it doesn't touch us as yet. But maybe when we're not getting what we want, and when it touches us, then is when we start to speak about the same thing that we refuse to talk about when things were good for us. We need to move on from this nonsense. Somebody gonna vote for somebody. Somebody gonna vote for somebody else. People know why they vote for this and vote. There are persons who will tell you they will never vote for Pam. They're voting for Labour. You can't vex with the man because the man who said they're going to vote for Labour and nobody else, they know why. And there are people who will tell you they will never vote for Labour. They're voting Pam. You can't vex with these people because they know why. And there are some who are going to come and promote Mr. Harris. Again, they know why. So all we have to understand, all of us is not going to tread the same path, but we need to come and get it into our thick skulls. We are one people, and when it comes to the country, we should all concern about it. We should all be concerned about it. We should all be concerned about it. To me personally, when it concerns to certain issues in this country, politics should never come into play. You look at America, they have this party and they got that party. And you look at other places, countries around the world, they have this. And it doesn't matter how people might talk and say they're fighting like cat and dog right now here. That is not this. No. That's an in-house whatsoever. But they have their broad goals and objectives that is there. And regardless to who go in, it doesn't matter whether it is the Democrat, it doesn't matter whether it's the Republican or whoever else in whichever country. You hear? They are there as a blueprint. And where one leaves off, the other takes up. There is no difference. Except maybe the approach they take in achieving those goals. One person might walk in a straight line to reach to the destination. The other one might take a more jagged line, but the destination is the same. This is the point where we need to get at as a people. We can't afford to allow them and the outside to use us to divide ourselves among political lines, color. I say in St. Kitts, politics is our own. Somewhere else they use tribal lines. Somewhere else they use religion. Somewhere else they use something else. All of these divisiveness is different. Sudan, Ethiopia, Egypt, Iraq, and everything, the same fingerprint. Are the same fingerprint, you know. That's a common denominator when it comes to all of what is happening on this earth. Right? But depending on the area, depending on the people, they use what is specific to that particular group of people or country or area, and they use that as the divisive tool against each other. I don't know what it's going to take for us to move away from this, but I only hope we can do better, because the only person who stand to lose is our future. And when I say our future, I'm talking about the children who are born from a people who work till the back bent to the ground. And at the end of the day, they pass on and they have nothing. They had nothing to show for all of what they have done on these lands for years. Their descendants, our children, are the ones who stand to lose. And I don't know what it's going to take I don't know what it's going to take. Because some of our people, they're still blinded. Our children, I'm saying, I don't even want to use certain expression because I know this is the airwaves, and I know it's not people alone in this country who listen. But I don't think that the interest is there to the point that it should be to get our children in position to take control of the land of their birth.
All right, caller.
Yes, and have a blessed day.
All right, thank you for your contribution to this program. We'll take a break now to give a shout out to our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. The phone lines will be open at 466-0989 or at 662-0989. For USA and Canada, you can call us at 718-285-6984 or at 305-921-4619. If you are in the United Kingdom, you can call us at 033-344-0065. This is Voices for Friday, April 28, 2023. I am Devon Cornelius. We'll take this break and we'll be right back. Stick and stay.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company, TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company. Together we succeed, building our strong community, pressing onward to our destiny. One love, one family. Together we succeed. Let the whole world see. Yes, this is 50.
When they start them there, we are top man, we take charge. Magnum we drink and we are shell down bars. Blast like a star in some Galapagos. Overdo it, we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man then. Wine with the style, no stop from spin. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine for the real star them. Take charge, take charge.
Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it?
Yeah, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
So check it out.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow! Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around.
Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to the program. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Cornelius. Can you hear me?
Yes, caller, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Cornelius, I would like if you had invite Mr. Sam Kander, the Honorable Sam Kander, to your program and let him give us an indication why there is a union and why there is a workers' march, and also why there is not a union anymore and everything is taken over by the Labour Commission office, and why is it the administration ministers have to involve themselves into a workers' march. So I don't know if it's all that is good. If you could bring in Mr. Sam Kander and ask him those questions, and people ask him the question, because I know him as a young boy going into the union after school to sell his newspapers, and then he was booked by the first Chief Minister, our Premier, Mr. Robert Llewellyn Blatcher, as someone in the making to be inspired to be a leader of this country. And I think he being looked upon by certain people as somebody still who can hold forth of administration in this federation. And why is it, how was the falling out between he and our third Prime Minister, Mr. Timothy Harris? I would like him to answer those questions for me. And you have a pleasant day.
All right, you too, caller. And you take care. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. It's 11:57. We break at 12 for the headline news, and when we come back, we will continue the conversation here on 98.9. The phone lines are open, and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or at 662-0989. USA and Canada, that's 718-285-6984 or 305-921-4619. And the UK, you can call us at 033-344-0065. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Devon.
How are you doing today?
You know, as usual, giving my God give thanks. Especially as they have the agriculture market day. You know, we see his handiwork. When you see all of these different fruits and animals, they got to be a creator. His name is Jehovah. Now, I want to ask a question. I heard a presentation this morning and some questions and statements. But I want to address the issue of youth in the match.
Of what?
Youth.
Oh,
youth participation in the youth.
Okay.
I was say young people.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't realize you said youth. Okay, yes. Okay.
It sounds proper, no? You know, they flock up behind the bands. They show no interest in the match. I have suggested a long time ago, stop the bands. And then we would know if they understand what they're participating in. Because number one, they don't join unions. And the people who are marching are in front. And they don't walk an inch unless the bands are there. Do they understand the purpose of a trade union?
Well, I'm glad that you raised that point, caller. I think there needs to be an education drive on the meaning of the labor union or the St. Kitts Nevis Trades and Labor Union. There have been efforts have been made to educate people about what it is, but it should continue, specifically geared towards young people.
Yeah, because they're the ones right now, they're working in the hotels, no representation. But you see, it is the St. Kitts Nevis Trades and Labor Union that has turned people off, no matter how they turn it. I told Dr. Douglas, when you have these marches, and they reach up the pastor before they had a long political harangue, set up tables and invite people to go and register. When they finish, well, the labor march was big and we had so many supporters. That is not the reason for the march. And they count all by the side of the road watching, an 11,000 march. How many members does the union have? And our young people, we raise them in such a way that they don't think. Only noise in their head. They themselves can organize unions along trade lines. You go to countries, especially Barbados, banks have union, everything have their own union. So if you don't want to go into the masses house, which is the labor headquarters, organize unions. There should have been a hotel. I was in Barbados one time where they had a hotel thing. And the workers were striking. And the government wasn't jumping in to protect the hotel owners from the workers. But you see, we start mesmerizing, we're walking around in a daze. And the politicians make sure they keep us blinded. So the young people want music, get them music. What about thinking? Look, when is the next time you're going to put on the youth parliament? We need to hear young people who could reason, not who could walk up and broke it and mix it. This forum should have been organized in St. Kitts. What is the state of worker protection, health and security? This thing about the code. The labor code has been dragging along the table. We heard in 2013 he was to go to the house. The other government went in and they're working. And now this morning, Miss Mills said they're revising. Darling, by the time you done revise, what you're revising is old, It's time enough that the new labor code be tabled in Parliament. The labor union has made itself irrelevant. That's what it is, Irrelevant because the longer they stay, Each government can go in and pass laws that give the workers the protection that they should have gotten from the union. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not. But quickly make your point because you have to take a break for the headline news.
Yes. I sorry, the one before me takes so long. But I'll come back after and explain.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then, enjoy your lunch.
All right, you too. And thank you so much for your contribution. We'll take a break now for the headline news. And when we come back, we'll continue the conversation right here on Win FM 98.9. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribbean.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com. When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
With the Win FM Midday News, I am Kevon Brown. Our top stories: more work is needed to increase number of girls in ICT, CARICOM Secretary General. St. Kitts Nevis Education Minister calls administrative personnel's unsung heroes of organizations. BVI politician talks how attempts to form coalition broke down. Internationally rival factions of Sudan's military have agreed to renew a 3-day ceasefire shortly before it was due to expire. Now the details. In remarks by CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett on the occasion of Girls in Information and Communications Technology ICT Day 2023, emphasized the equity gap still present in ICT fields.
While there are signs of progress all around the world since we met last year, the ITU reports in 2022 that the power and transformational potential of internet access and use is not equally distributed. Of the estimated 2.7 billion people currently unconnected, the majority are women and girls. The digital gender gap continues to expand in many developing countries, creating a need to support digital gender equality. Adolescents are growing up in a world in which technology, migration, climate change, and conflict are reshaping their society. Youths aged 15 to 24 years are the driving force of connectivity, with 75% of young people worldwide now able to use the internet.
The Secretary General made those remarks at the regional online event on April 27, 2023, where she said for 2022, 63% of women worldwide were using the internet when compared to 69% of men.
This gender gap is even more concerning in lower-income nations, in which 21% of women are online compared to 32% of men, a figure that has not improved since 2019. According to experts, the digital gender gap can be minimized by building digital skills and promoting ICT education for girls and young women while supporting their participation in technology development, local content creation, and ICT innovation. Studies across the world show that young people need 4 types of skills as they advance to 2030: foundational, transferable or life skills, job-related, and digital skills. CARICOM continues to work to bolster the policy environment to teach and foster these skills.
The theme for Girls in ICT Day was Digital Skills for Life. CARICOM celebrated the day with more than 40 workshops to encourage more girls to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to bolster the region's ICT leaders. CARICOM has several regional initiatives to increase the number of girls who choose ICT as a career path.
Some of these initiatives include the CARICOM Single ICT Space Roadmap and Work Plan, the CARICOM Human Resource Development Strategy, and the CARICOM Girls in ICT Partnership Action Plan. Other initiatives include instituting the CARICOM Digital Skills Task Force and ongoing urgent work in the Caribbean Association of National Training Authorities, CANTA, to develop regional technical and vocational education and training courses, standards, and frameworks. There is also an ICT sector gap analysis project started this year, which will give us real-time data on how we are performing as a region and the existing gaps. I am happy to share that the CARICOM Girls in ICT Partnership will be launching a career webinar series in July 2023, which will offer access to educational resources and training to bolster capacity building.
On St. Kitts, the Ministry of Communications, in collaboration with the International Telecommunications Union, ITU, hosted a development forum on April 27th for female students across St. Kitts to prepare and equip young girls with the necessary skills to thrive in the digital sphere with exposure to graphic design, robotics, and web design. Leading up to the observation of International Girls in ICT Day 2023, the Department of Information Technology St. Kitts hosted a number of activities, including a Canva poster competition catering to primary and secondary students, and a Best in IT game show for high school students. The Government Information Service ahead of Girls in ICT Day shared a video where 3 young women interning with the National ICT Center spoke of their experience, interest, and benefits of ICT.
Hi, my name is Adara Abraham, and I am a student at the current Fitzroy Bryant College and an intern at the Department of ICT.
Hi, my name is Ajane Bristol. I am a student at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, and I am here at the ICT Center for internship.
I am Ishanta Adams, an inputter in the TSMU unit.
Prior to my internship here at the Department of Technology, I of course had interest in IT because the world is tech. I use my devices every day. But while being here, I truly saw just how advantageous of a tool that IT can be. Here they use applications that you normally look over, like Word and Excel, to complete their tasks quickly and in a more efficient manner. Even if you aren't directly interested in ICT, I urge you to immerse yourself in the field because it can open doors for so many opportunities, and you can use the skills to promote yourselves, your future careers, and small businesses as well. Well, technology has impacted my life because, as I said, I am a student. I use these applications to quicken my work and help me finish them easier, and I also use social media so I could interact with my loved ones and my friends and even promote myself as a person.
Initially, I was sent here to do accounting, but after 3 weeks, I switched to the IT department where I got a touch of what the technicians do here on a daily basis at the ICT center. Therefore, I was a girl in IT working in a male-dominated field. And that made me feel like I can conquer anything. Also, working in the IT department made me realize the love that I really have for technology. It made me want to continue my career and further my education in technological studies. Technology has impacted my life by the way I communicate and how I relate to others. Technology made me bold, confident, and goal-driven. Also, it allowed me to develop a love for fashion, hair, and makeup. Technology has opened a world of possibilities and opportunities for me.
As we all know, technology serves a great purpose worldwide. It is an easy and effective time-saving mechanism which provides communication via the internet. And as we all know, technology serves a great purpose worldwide. It provides easy access to information via the internet and communication using call, text, or email, etc. Undergoing different training and researching different technological mechanisms, I leave work every day learning something new. As a young entrepreneur, I have grown to appreciate technology in its entirety. Being able to post and advertise my small business has gradually increased my clientele and revenue flow. ICT is hosting its annual Girls in ICT Week of Activities, beginning from April 25th to April 27th, 2023.
I am a woman in ICT, and this is a job for me. Digital skills for life.
International Association of Administrative Professionals Day was celebrated on April 26th under the theme The Power of Influence, Staying Motivated in the Workplace. The National Association of Administrative Professionals in St. Kitts hosted an Administrative Professionals Development Workshop where Minister of Education, the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, celebrated the country's administrative professionals. In a video on the St. Kitts Education Media Unit's social media pages on April 28th, the Education Minister said that administrative professionals are the driving engines of government departments, private companies, schools, etc.
I too want to wish each and every one of you a very happy Administrative Professional Day. It was early this morning I had the privilege of declaring a workshop officially opened. And one of the things that stuck out at me in the presentation is the fact that you guys are in fact the driving engine of our offices, our departments, and the ministry by extension. And I want to thank each and every one of you for all of the work that you have done and you continue to do to make sure that we shine.
During the workshop, Dr. Hanley called administrative professionals unsung heroes of organizations. In a St. Kitts Nevis Education Media Unit release, Dr. Hanley said, quote, "Those of us who sit in leadership roles would have to agree that administrative professionals contribute largely to the success and overall effectiveness of our organizations. The role of the administrative professional has certainly evolved, especially in the last 3 years. Therefore, it is imperative that you pursue continuous professional development to remain relevant in this evolving workforce, end quote. According to the International Association of Administrative Professionals, IAAP, administrative professionals should not just be given flowers or chocolates, but the administrative profession deserves a seat at the table of business as a partner, not minute takers. Admins should not expect to be recognized during this week and day. Instead, they should use this time to speak up and ask for what they need to succeed, like commensurate pay and professional development opportunities. Why? Because the success of admins make the businesses they support more efficient. If time is money, admins are worth their weight in gold. In regional news, BVI politician talks how attempts to form coalition broke down. Carib Update has that story and more.
Experienced British Virgin Islands Representative Julian Fraser said he had pushed for a coalition among the three opposition parties to keep the Virgin Islands Party out. Speaking to Carib Update News Thursday, there was a hint of regret that a deal was not reached between the three parties.
I fought to make sure that the Virgin Islands Party did not win the government, and that was my philosophy. That's the philosophy I proffered to the leader of the Progressive Virgin Islands Movement and the National Democratic Party. Let's campaign on the grounds that the Virgin Islands Party is not fit to serve as government, and if we do that, we will form a coalition.
Fraser said the discussions he had with the National Democratic Party and the Progressive Virgin Islands Movement had broken down over the idea of the premiership.
We had an amicable solution to the problem, and that amicable solution to the problem was to rotate the leadership. If somebody had a problem with that, then they had a problem with me. As you said, and it's true, that I had the keys. My position was key, and I could have walked. I was the easiest person to walk because I didn't have to tell anyone goodbye. I just had to walk by myself and go across to the Virgin Islands Party. I refused to do that.
He acknowledged that the Virgin Islands Party also had talks with him about forming a coalition, but there was no way it was going to be one where he did not become the premier. Fraser was one time a leader of the VIP who lost an election badly to the NDP before his party's leadership was challenged, and he was defeated by Andrew Foy. It appeared that the pain from that period linger with Fraser.
I was not going to work under Natalia Whitley as premier, and people can say what they want. I had my experiences with that group before, and I wasn't willing to take any chances with them again. And I know, I don't believe in my mind that that group has a capacity to manage this country in a meaningful way.
Meantime, leader of the NDP, Marlon Penn, told a press conference in Rhodertown Thursday that his party is moving to expel Lorna Smith, who went on to help form the government.
Our vision for alliance in the name of the party is not representative of the party. The party brass met last evening, and we made a decision that we're going to move forward and move steps forward to have her removed as a member of the organization. And the formal process will be done in terms of that removal process. So she does not represent a coalition with the National Democratic Party and the Virgin Islands Party, and I want to make that clear to the public.
A commission of inquiry into Guyana's disrupted 2020 regional and general election has found that 3 former senior officials of the Guyana Elections Commission attempted to derail and corrupt the process of certifying the votes. Chairman of the Commission of Inquiry, retired Justice of Appeal Stanley John, handed over the report to President Mohamed Irfan Ali on Wednesday. The COI, which began on November 3, 2022, and concluded on February 10, 2023, heard testimony from over 20 witnesses. The COI report said former Chief Election Officer Keith Lowenfield, Deputy Chief Election Officer Roxanne Myers, and Returning Officer Claremont Mingo made what was described as shockingly brazen attempts for the purpose of stealing the election in favor of APNU. Lowenfield, Myers, Mingo, and former Public Health Minister Valda Lawrence are currently before the court facing fraud charges. They have been placed on bail.
We now bring you these international reports.
Sudan and both sides of the conflict in the country have now agreed to extend a fragile ceasefire for another 3 days. The truce has only been partly effective, though, with heavy fighting taking place in parts of the capital, Khartoum. Nearly 2 weeks of clashes between the two factions, the Sudanese army and its rival, the Rapid Support Forces, have left hundreds of people dead and forced tens of thousands from their homes. While diplomatic efforts to persuade the two rival generals to stop the fighting have been continuing, with the UN, the US and African countries all involved. Well, the World Health Organization says it expects that there will be many more deaths due to the outbreaks of disease and a lack of services. Health officials say most hospitals in conflict areas are not functioning, and more than 60% of health facilities in Khartoum are now inactive. Live now to Nairobi, we can speak to our diplomatic correspondent who is there, Paul Adams. Paul, it's good to see you. So an extension there of a further 3 days, but as we've touched on, there are big questions about whether that will actually be effective given what we've seen so far with the existing ceasefire.
Yeah, the existing ceasefire was extremely patchy, and there's no reason to believe this one won't be too. I mean, as far as the international community is concerned, those countries like Britain and the United States who are urging their civilians, their citizens to leave, it does present an extension of that window of opportunity for those evacuations to continue from the airstrip north of Khartoum and also from the port of Sudan, Port Sudan on the Red Sea coast. So clearly there's a hope that this will facilitate those continued evacuations. Both the United States and Britain have urged their civilians, their citizens to leave as quickly as possible, to use this opportunity. But even that is a precarious affair. There was a report just this morning of a Turkish C-130 transport plane that was shot at and suffered some damage as it was taking off from that Wadi Saidna base north of Khartoum. So just an indication that despite the relative security surrounding that base, this is not a risk-free operation either. But for the people of Sudan, who are mostly trapped by this recent cycle of violence, that this is a kind of a moment to wait and hope that the last ceasefire, that this will be an improvement on the last ceasefire, because frankly there were days in the last few days when it didn't seem like there was much of a ceasefire at all, and an awful lot of Sudanese citizens are also trying to leave the country by any means they can.
And Paul, what is often the case in these sorts of scenarios is that even those who are safe from the fighting feel the effects of the worsening humanitarian situation. What do we know about what services are functioning and what help people are able to get, if any?
I think with every day that passes, the people's ability to get help, to get basic services, to get food, to get water, electricity, all of these things have broken down. Obviously, if there is relative calm in certain parts of the capital, it may be that certain services can be restored, but it is the case that everything is getting harder. It's harder for people to move around. There's a shortage of fuel and transport, and certainly a lot of people are stuck in their homes without running water, in some cases with long power cuts. So as far as the international community is concerned, there is a real need to try and translate this patchy ceasefire into something a bit more widespread, a bit more permanent, to allow the humanitarian situation to be addressed properly, and perhaps beyond that to open some avenues for a political dialogue, though I have to say at the moment that seems like a rather remote prospect.
It's been a traumatic and terrifying night for many people across Ukraine, and for some it's been deadly. At 4 a.m. local time, the country was hit by a wave of missiles fired by Russia at several cities. Well, rescue operations are underway to search for survivors. Uman, residential building where at 4 a.m., like the strikes across the south and the central parts of Ukraine, people were killed and many were injured. Now, some missiles were shot down by the Ukrainians. Around 21 Russian missiles were shot down, and this is all after a failed winter offensive, or a very unproductive winter offensive from the Russian point of view, and ahead of an expected offensive by the Ukrainians in the east of the country. Heavy military presence there from both sides, of course. Well, earlier I spoke to our correspondent in Kyiv, Hugo Bechega, for the latest.
So we just had an update from the authorities in the city of Uman. They say at least 6 people have been killed in that city in the central part of Ukraine. This is a city where we've seen those dramatic pictures of a residential building that has partially collapsed, apparently after being hit by a missile. And in the city of Dnipro, as you say, 2 people were killed, a mother and her 3-year-old daughter. Their house was hit, and these attacks happened as people were sleeping. We heard the air raid alert here in Kyiv at around 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, here in the capital, we haven't heard reports of casualties, but the authorities are saying that 11 cruise missiles were shot down by the country's air defense, and it was the first time that Kyiv was attacked with missiles in 51 days. So a significant development here. This is obviously happening as the Ukrainians are expected to launch an offensive to try to take back territory that's now under occupation. And we just had a reaction from President Zelensky, who again accused Russia of terrorism. He said Russia attacked civilians at night. And obviously, I think perhaps the fear is that these attacks could be, again, the new part of the Russian strategy as it responds to the much anticipated offensive to be launched by the Ukrainians.
Yeah, Hugo, as you're talking and describing that attack in Uman, we've been watching pictures, live pictures from the scene of the debris being cleared and bodies being taken away from this site where the strike happened last night, as you say. And so is that what people in Ukraine believe, that this is part of a wider war effort now that's changed gears?
This happened overnight, so I think people are still trying to understand what exactly has taken place. I know that I think that a number of cities across the country were hit in central and southern regions, so it shows that Russia tried to target a number of different locations across the country. And again, very significant that 11 cruise missiles were launched at Kyiv. Also, the air defense systems shot down 2 drones, and I think the authorities are saying that in total 23 cruise missiles were launched by Russia, and that 21 were intercepted by the country's air defense system. So again, a significant morning here in Ukraine, especially because Kyiv again came under attack.
Hugo, much anticipation about a counter-offensive from the Ukrainian forces, perhaps in the coming weeks, but do you think an incident like this would ever change Ukraine's plans or accelerate them?
Well, I mean, to be absolutely honest, I think it doesn't make any difference. The Ukrainians have been preparing for this counteroffensive for a very long time. They have been receiving, the weapons and all the help that has been pledged and provided by Western countries. And they say they've got a plan and that they are waiting for the conditions to be in place, including weather conditions to improve, to launch this counteroffensive. It is expected that they are going to target places and locations in the south of the country where Russian forces have been for more than a year now, and obviously nearly a fifth of this country remains under occupation. And for a very long time we've been talking about the battle for Bakhmut, where much of the war, the effort has been concentrated, but I think in the next few weeks we're going to perhaps see a lot of military activity as the Russians fortify their positions in anticipation for this counteroffensive, but also as the Ukrainians launch this operation and try to take back territory that's been invaded.
Fears that these types of attacks are part of a new Russian strategy from central Ukraine, from the city of Uman, where 4 people were killed in Russian strikes overnight. Another 2 were killed, a mother and her 3-year-old daughter, in the western city of Dnipro. A residential building was hit by a missile as a wide arc of attacks took place overnight from Kyiv through central and southern regions of Ukraine.
Here are 5 stories making business headlines in sub-Saharan Africa this week. Violence in Sudan has raised question marks over supplies of gum arabic, a key ingredient in everything from fizzy drinks to cosmetics. Wary of Sudan's persistent insecurity, companies such as Coca-Cola and Pepsi have long stockpiled the gum, which comes from acacia trees in the Sahel. Exporters, suppliers and distributors said trade in the gum had ground to a halt, and some estimated that stockpiles will run out in up to 6 months. Sudan's conflict between the army and a paramilitary force has killed hundreds and triggered a humanitarian crisis. South Africa's Eskom is losing well over 1 billion rand, or $55 million a month, from theft. Former Chief Executive Andre de Ruyter told Parliament on Wednesday. The state power company has struggled to supply enough electricity for more than a decade, with outages at the moment lasting around 10 hours a day for most households, the worst on record. Mozambique's president has said it is safe for Total Energies to restart a $20 billion LNG project in Cabo Delgado province that was halted in 2021 due to attacks by an Islamic State-linked insurgency on civilians. A spokesperson for Total Energies, which owns 26.5% of the project, said it was not their decision alone and that the decision to restart depends on assurances of security and human rights. An agreement on royalties between Congo's state miner and China's CMOC has been reached, Congo's finance minister said on Monday. That's paved the way for the resumption of exports from Tenke Fungurumu mining, the world's second largest cobalt mine, which was suspended in July. And finally, Zimbabwean police are clamping down on backyard brewers who make fake whiskey, brandy, vodka and other spirits. Civil society groups say alcohol and drug abuse is on the rise amid economic hardship in Zimbabwe, and that the illicit booze is contributing to the problem.
You were listening to the Midday News on WINNFM 98.9. The headlines: more work is needed to increase number of girls in ICT, CARICOM Secretary General. St. Kitts Nevis Education Minister calls administrative personnel's unsung heroes of organizations. BVI politician talks how attempts to form coalition broke down. Internationally rival factions of Sudan's military have agreed to renew a 3-day ceasefire shortly before it was due to expire. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribou.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king. Please drink responsibly.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured. Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas, announces king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts. We have the best service and competitive rates on LTL and FCL cargo, including D&E containers, cars, heavy equipment, buses, boats, and barrels from Miami to St. Kitts. LTL pickup service anywhere in the U.S. Call local agents SL Horseman and Company Limited at 869-465-4086 or 869-662-5008 for further details. King Ocean's king size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts Nevis. King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas.
This is 98.9 Win FM. I'm Devon Cornelius, and welcome back to Voices for Friday, April 28, 2023. It is 12:43 here in the studio, and the phone lines are open, and we are taking your calls. Let's head back to the phone lines, and we'll take our first call for this afternoon. Hello, caller. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Hi, good afternoon. Why you sound like you're chewing still?
No.
You don't like to tease you, eh?
I know that.
Yeah, so you keep a good sense of humor.
Thank you.
It's good, you know.
Absolutely.
Everything is not intended to offend.
Absolutely, that's true.
Yes, and we got to learn to take life easier. I have some people on my ignore list, you know what I mean? So I won't bother to worry and stress. Now, let me ask you 1, 2, 3 questions. It's along the diplomatic lines, eh? What is the position with the Cameroonians? How many have they recaptured?
I have not seen the latest update, to be honest with you. I'll check that out. But the information that I have at hand right now in the studio with me is that 9 have escaped. I think I stand to be corrected. Well, let me not say it until I get the actual information. So I'll answer your question later on in the program.
Yeah, because I want to. Is it 4? Is it 8?
In terms of those who have escaped?
Have been recaptured.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
At first I said they said they recovered 4 first, and then another item sounded like they got 4 more. What is our diplomatic relationship to Cameroon?
Yeah, I do not understand why they are still in the country. I do not understand why we are still housing them. I don't know what the conversations are like between the authorities here and the authorities, I think, in Antigua. I think that's where they came from. But the situation needs to be addressed.
Yeah, as far as I understood, Gaston Brown has changed his mind about repatriating them. Have you heard that?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it was in the news. We seen this thing. I say he either pay, or because they're not poor people, eh? The Cameroon, they're not poor people. They pay for a boat to bring them from Antigua, jet to bring them from Nigeria. If they can pay at least half of the fare, return them to Antigua. You see what Grenada did? When the Haitians went from Trinidad into Grenada, they sent them back to where they came from. So I don't understand Gaston Brown. He is the one who encouraged it. Because if you allow them to land in Antigua with a one-way ticket, to me, that's what it is, you know. You can walk into Antigua, you know. I'm married to an Antiguan. And I remember one time I took my brother-in-law, who was born in Antigua. I think he was about 12. And he had to stay in the immigration place until my other brother-in-law came to pick him up. Born there. So I don't understand. They come here. We already have the Haitians. What is the situation with them too? They're still in custody.
I'm not sure.
Detention. It's a detention. You know what I mean? We gotta get, and then we want my good friends as want all the Africans to come together as one. He already owes the money from National Bank, you know. You're not gonna pay this, you're not gonna pay that, he didn't borrow it. Now you mean you bring these people into your country, hundreds of them. My heart goes out to the people, you know, that drowned. Well, suppose it was a cruise ship and they land 800 here. Well, it's not 800 down there. I think it's 692. That's a 692.
Mm-hmm.
But one morning, they come in on a jet, a charter jet. What are we to do? The next thing is the diplomatic week. And a question I have been asking myself all the time, especially after the matter with the Canadian visa, what is the criteria for selecting consulars? Who determines who we select as consulars? Are they all new ones? Shouldn't we, in some cases, be seeking to put diplomats in some of those places there? Because with every diplomat is a diplomatic passport, you know. You aware of that?
Yes.
All the consulars have. So they have maybe more passport than our ministers of government. And there's been the case in the, I think it was the St. Lucia election, one of those Windward Islands, where the case was that a gentleman had offered to pay for a diplomatic passport. So, you know, what is the criteria? Because it is because of one of the consulars to Canada. Whichever way it went, the truth or the error, I don't know. Why we lost our visa status. Have you gone to meet any of them? Have you been to the meetings?
No, I've not been able to attend any of the meetings.
You must try, man. Yeah, because I think they said that they were at the food agriculture thing yesterday. Because I would like to know for each one, why were you chosen? And Dr. Douglas must answer. He's now the minister who has the final say on the selection. Is it just the minister or the prime minister, or is it the cabinet? And wouldn't it be better if some of our people fill those positions? Because you might be surprised we have nationals and citizens living in some of those same countries, you know. They're not on the payroll, eh? A consular is not paid, in case some people don't know. They're not paid a salary. They are paid for their services. Are you aware of that?
No, I wasn't that aware.
Oh, well, I know, because it's a work. They are paid for whatever services they do. But they have the privilege of using the passport. So while they are here, the week isn't over, isn't that so? Diplomatic week over?
I think so. Did not this? I think they started on the 24th, I believe, or 25th.
I know they said they were going to be at the. I think they said they were going to have some open thing where you're going to meet them, unless it was yesterday. But you see, where somebody need to ask my good friend, what his name is again? He could answer some of the questions. I really want to know what was the criteria for selecting them, and couldn't we have trained enough of our people? We got to do better, you know. And all of my good African people want Pan-Africanism. Don't you think you should be making an input into all of these things that are going on in Africa? We have the AU and CARICOM. Should we, maybe even as a country, make some input, communicate something, look, you all cool down. Because you can't be talking about uniting all black people when on the continent where you got nearly a billion and something. And among themselves they can't think. And then we're busy putting blame on other people. There must be intelligent black people all over the world. So I'm calling upon all the Pan-Africanists and all the others who want to unite all black people. You got to start uniting them in St. Kitts. So when they got the march on Monday, it's not a labor march, it is a workers' march. All right then, but see if you can find out for me. What is the criteria for selecting people as councillors? All right then.
All right, Carla, thank you for your contribution to this program. This is Voices here on WINN-FM 98.9, and we are taking your calls at 466-0989 or at 662-0989. The phone lines are open, and we are welcoming your calls. It is Voices for Friday, April 28, 2023. Let's head back to the phone lines, and we're going to take some more calls. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon again. I'm back again. Hypothetically speaking, right? Proverbially speaking, we cannot cry wolf or support someone crying wolf. And when not only a wolf, but the wolves come, we turn around and we start to cry, Lord, 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 get rid of the wolves. What I mean by that, years ago, I have spoken out about this. I don't know if I should say this boastings and braggings that used to take place by some of our political, let me say by some of our politicians. If we keep going around and talking about we're the best, we're the best, we're the best, we're number one, we're better than this, we're better than that. Our apple is larger than that person's apple over there. And our orange is richer in color than that one over there. So we have more nutrients. What do you think is going to happen? We are the ones, who put ourselves in this position, through our politicians, And the citizens do not listen. And when things happen, some of them, they do not say, hey, look, no, especially those who are in and support the in, they don't stand up and speak up. I don't know what makes them think that in speaking up to who they favor, they are committing a sin. No, Mr. Moderator, nobody runs from good to bad. Right? You don't see nobody run from bad to worse or worse to worse. Right?
Sometimes.
Well, let us say consciously.
Yes.
There might be some other factors in play that may force somebody to go right. Yeah. But let's say consciously. Right. If you're in a spot where you can make a decision to really get better, move from the present situation to go somewhere else because it is better, you're not going to go to the worst. Right? So when we put up ourselves out there and bragging for political reasons, or I don't know if this might have been externally orchestrated for the internal to behave this way, what do you think is going to happen? So on the outside, those who are in a position who are where conditions may be a little more challenging or worse than us, what do you think is going to happen? Will all roads then lead here? All roads lead here. So now they come. We start making noise. We are the ones who call them to the politicians. And years ago, I used to talk about it. I said they need to watch what they're saying and stop what they're saying. If I had said something derogatory about whomsoever on the ear, they would have heard it. But sometimes when citizens speak, they pretend like they don't hear. They do as they like. So I don't know if they have been encouraged to do this, who advise them. I don't know who to advise them to behave like that. Because for sure, I could not have been any one of them advisors and have them behaving like that. I mean, they didn't have to take what I said, but in the end, I would have had to make a decision whether to stay or move. You see? We cannot do these things. And then when certain results occur, we don't start around and we start to blame. And now we put in the blame. And look at who all getting the blame, you know. Of all of them who coming in, look at who getting the blame. It's either those from Haiti, or let me say those of African origins. They are the ones who get in the blame. Others who come here, nobody blaming them. Next door to Haiti, they come in here in droves. And you don't hear nobody saying send them out. You don't hear nobody say send them out. Right? Many of them don't have no ties here. And we can do the math. We can do our analysis. They have no ties here. Because those who really have ties here, they are not coming and look at it. Those ones who come in here is their kind India who holding the Haitians who are, those who are dark skinned, holding them and pushing them over the border. News coming out, they're burning down the people's place, beating them up. And then they are allowed a free pass to come here under the guise that some grandfather or father came down there to cut cane. Come on. I have said this long time, and I kept saying it. Many of them who come here do not have any relations here. None whatsoever. But they're open, they're receiving open arms. A past political candidate, when I had asked a question about that same thing, about some of them who come in here illegally, you know what he said? Oh, nobody from the DR coming in here illegally. They come legally to the airport. Well, okay, they come in legally. But what about their stay? Is their stay here up to this point? Before they call them to come in to regularize themselves, were they legal in the country? They might come illegally, but they might be illegally in the country still. Nothing is done in that area. And let us look at the music festival. I could be wrong. I stand corrected. I could be wrong. Maybe again because of the same boasting. Look at how many of them want to come here now for the music festival. I don't know how true. I do not know how true. But it is said that some of them on the outside, they even contact here, putting themselves up for consideration to come to perform. How true that is, I don't know.
Wait, sorry, what was, they did what?
Some of these persons, like artists from other countries and so on, they are now contacting here, putting themselves up to be considered to come here to perform.
Meaning that they're reaching out to us to be a part of the festival?
They're reaching out for them to be considered as an option or one of them, to come to perform.
Okay.
How true, I don't know, but that's what I was told. If I don't know, I don't know, and that's why I speak with conditions. If I know, I know. I speak straight. How true that is, I don't know. But I mean, the numbers that they have for the music festival, to me, that is way beyond. So to me, a lot of them look at the music festival as a means also of getting a job. Maybe well-needed cash during this period of drought for them because of how we present ourselves out there. When persons come here, if they have whatever tournament or whatever, when they come here, right, because they say we are known to really treat outsiders far better than how we treat ourselves. When they come here, they are expected to go to the best hotel, get the best of everything and best of things. And apparently, their needs are catered to. Compare now to when we or others go to other islands or whatever. They don't really put themselves out of the way like that, Because there is a team I know had went. I won't say what I went to play or whatsoever. When the citizens from that country came here, they were put up in hotel, given the best, And when our team from here went to that thing, they put them in a school and put them on a cot. And who not get cot sleep on the floor. And then those from here are told, hey, when you come back home, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Whatever happened here, leave it. I mean, nonsense. How do you think your condition will improve? Some time ago, I wonder if it was a netball tournament they have here. I don't know if it's netball, but something. Some group from some island wanted to go in Marriott, and I think they had no more rooms there, and it was a toss-up kind of, and whatever. And I think they said some of them decided they would not leave there. They were camping out on the floor and all that sort of thing and so on. And I saw something on social media posts where how when they went back, how they tear down St. Kitts. And I think after that, whatever was said, I don't know if it's from their home country or from here, whatever, they pull it down, and I think an apology was made, and they turned around and they started to talk. You know, this sort of thing. Because when they come here, they expect gold and silver, you know, on a plate of some other precious stone. And then when we go out there, whatever we get, we take, and we don't say anything. So we have to take responsibility for this. So when we hear our leaders speaking certain things and they're irresponsible with what they say, we have to pull them up, because in the end, is the majority of the citizens who will be affected. Now, it is said with those persons with this Antigua and the boat that sank, and those that were rescued. Well, if I am not mistaken, I'm sure I heard it in the news yesterday where Antigua said they're not going to take them back. It seemed like there was some prior or earlier agreement that they will come back. They could send them back. But apparently now, he in Antigua has changed his mind. So I guess maybe his thinking is, if you're in a better position than us, take care of them. You boast a lot, so take care of them, right? Surplus after surplus after surplus every year, take care of them. When there is a drought, you are the only one who has an oasis in that wilderness. We have barren land. You have an oasis in barren land, and in drought, you have your own oasis. Take care of them. We have to try to see these linkages. Yes, we might feel good about certain things that we look at as progress, but I don't think that we should go out there and encourage our leaders and hear them speak and don't say anything, and we jump on the bandwagon because we favor them. And when they put us in a position and people start coming, we start turning around and we start to make noise. But the only ones that we come out against are those who look like us. Everybody else gets free rein. They can come and do as they like. But those who look like us, send them back. They bring in crime. Nobody else who come from wherever they came from have not committed any crime here yet. Nobody has ever committed crime. Only people who look like us commit crime. Nobody else. Mm-hmm. Others, when we come to the airport, and if there is change right now, right, I am happy, but I can only speak on my past experience. Right now here, I don't know if there are changes up there. But when I come to the airport, people who look like me, well, the exception is if you're in a diplomatic thing or for politics alignment or whatsoever outside. But ordinary citizens, you come to the airport, people who look like me, you tumble up, you hang upside down, you stretch all around, they sort out your belly and all of your entrails. They pluck your toenail and lift them up to see if you got any kind of bug under there. I mean, they mess you up. Yeah? And persons who don't look like us, those immigration officers tell them, Pastor, take your stuff and go through. We talk about all of these ammunition and all of these guns and so on. We don't manufacture any of these factories here. We don't do nothing like that, right? And as far as I am concerned, every piece of luggage that do not get searched going through our security, it has contraband in it. That's my opinion. Okay? That's me. Me putting out there for nobody to run with it. Okay?
But I disagree
we have
with
to
you.
look at all of that.
I disagree with you, though.
You disagree?
Yeah, you're suggesting that every piece of luggage that is not searched has contraband in it? That's a serious thing to say.
That is why I said this is my opinion. Because if it is not searched, how does you, me, or anybody else know for certain that it does not have contraband in it? You can only tell that it has if it is searched. So if it is not searched, you have to give the benefit of the doubt to the fact that there could be piece of contraband in it. So what you want to tell me? We who are citizens who come in, we are the ones, the scam and the crooks and the thieves and the gangsters and all of that. We have contraband, so we must be searched, right? So why are we as citizens searched? Is it because the idea is there that probably we have something that is illegal inside there? Why would they search? Think about it. And the others, who manufacture the guns and all of those sort of things, they are considered to be angels and pure and holy. And no, they don't engage themselves in these things. So pass them through. So where are these guns coming from? Of course, they could come to the open borders elsewhere and whatever. But you don't think a lot of them come to the ear too? But just like we can be tempted to bring in a piece of contraband, you don't think they do too? You think they love us? So if they know they're given the clearance to just pass through without being searched, where you don't think somewhere along the line that they pass on to them and whatever, and somebody comes to because they know they're not going to be searched. And even these other ports where they enter, and there's no immigration officer there to check them, and even if there is, so what? I'm not going to blame all of the immigration officers, because I do believe they are given instructions. I do believe that there are immigration officers who are willing to do their job and might have done what they were supposed to do. But only one phone call, and that mess up everything. We're balling right now and say immigration not doing the work and not doing the work and not doing the work. I don't believe it's a matter that they are lazy. And when I say they, I'm not saying everybody, but I don't believe that all is lazy. I believe some of them are frustrated because their work is being frustrated by somebody else. I'm not speaking about now. I don't know to now. Okay? But in the past, that seemed to have happened. Remember when the immigration officers then were going to get some persons round up to get them out? You see what happened. Frustration again. You reach to the point now that they're now told now to come regularize some years ago. When an effort was made, I really don't know from whom the immigration officers get their power. I don't know. I don't know if this is not supposed to be a body in and of itself that work singularly, meaning that they don't really take any orders from anybody else. They might have somebody who oversees them, yes. You understand? But I don't believe that when they're doing their work, I don't think their work should be frustrated by somebody who coming in talking about, oh, they're friends of this and friend of that, and all they do, they just make a call and call up this, and then immigration get a call and say, oh, let him go through, let she go through it also. I don't know if it's still happening. I do hope it doesn't. So when we're talking about a lot of these ills in our society, we have to look that maybe right under our eyes, things are allowed to happen. Maybe to the fault of whomsoever. But again, I could not be working as an immigration officer. You understand? Because whomsoever come to there, every luggage will have to be searched. You don't come and tell me don't search this because of this or whatever. Your luggage will have to be searched because if I cannot search yours, I will not search anybody who belongs to us. All right. What goes for one goes for all. So if I could not be allowed to do my job, then I would have to leave. Have a blessed day.
All right, caller. And you take care as well. This is Voices on WINNFM 98.9 for Friday, April 28, 2023. We'll take a break to acknowledge the sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue the discussion for today.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Here are your Hospital's Value Mart IGA specials.
Running April 20th to May 3rd.
Now your Value Club Blue Tax specials. Nature Valley granola bars just $13.49. Palm cooking sprays $13.49. Chef Warrior decanned pastas and micro pastas just $5.99. Essential everyday canned fruits $8.99. Banquet ground and served breakfast sausages $8.99. IGA and essential everyday cereals just $9.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Kind cereal bars $6.99. Post honey bunches of oats and pebble cereals family size $16.99. Hammer toothpaste $12.99. IGA and essential everyday frozen vegetables $5.99. All Orchard apple juice $8.99. Orville red and Boca popcorn $9.99. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en
Value Mart.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas, announces king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts. We have the best service and competitive rates on LCL and FCL cargo, including D&E containers, cars, heavy equipment, buses, boats, and barrels from Miami to St. Kitts. LCL pickup service anywhere in the U.S. Call local agents SL Hospital and Company Limited at 869-465-4086 or 869-662-5008 for further details. King Ocean's king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts Nevis. King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas.
Welcome back. I'm Devon Cornelius, and you're tuned in to Win FM 98.9 for Voices on Friday, April 28, 2023. It is 16 minutes past the 1 o'clock hour, and we are taking your calls at 466-0989 or at 662-0989. If you are in the United States of America or Canada, you can call us at 718-285-6984 or at 305-921-4619. And for the United Kingdom, call us at 033-344-0065. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this one. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Call us back to be a part of the conversation for today. We are also live on our social media platforms, so check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as Twitch. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'd like to point out to the previous lady caller that immigration officers do not search luggage. It's customs officers. Immigration officers check your travel documents. Customs officers who check your baggage. And they do not check baggage exclusively for contraband. They check baggage for the purpose of determining whether or not you have taxable items. There's an allowance of X dollars. They're about to bring it to the country free. And over that, you're supposed to be paying taxes on them. And so the purpose of going through your life is not exclusively to see if you have contraband, but whether or not you're trying to avoid taxes, because when they say, have anything to declare, and you say no, they, by experience, can suggest you have 4 bags with you, and you say you only went to it for a weekend. Something looks wrong. Thank you very much.
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls right here on Win FM 98.9 for Voices. It is Friday, April 28, 2023. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Hello, caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, in 1 second. Thank you, caller, very much for the correction. I stood corrected, and thanks very much for the correction. Custom officers. Have a good day, Mr. Moderator.
All right, caller, thank you so much for that. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls. Call us today to be a part of the conversation. We'll end this program at 1:30. It is now 19 minutes past, according to my clock here. And the phone lines are ringing. Let's head back and we'll take some more calls. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cornelius.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
All right, good to
I
hear.
want to say something, St. Kitts need an immigration office, one in St. Kitts, one in Nevis. To me, it's the second time I see both coming from Dominica and say they're going someplace else and end up in St. Kitts. And some of these things you have to look into them. Sometimes I wonder if they're taking these people and just sending them to St. Kitts when they don't want them in the country. People need to, St. Kitts law, you need to tighten up. Because right now everybody's secure in the place. I see they take a whole heap of people from Texas and send them to New York. The main Texas now and them. They send them New York. The government in New York, they are saying, no, the shelter them full, they can't take no more. I think you want to take in all these people here. It's just a matter of time, Think it needs to pull up and that you're against somebody, but everybody know running from hardship. Nobody want no illegal people in the place. So you ain't do. You ain't coming to build a school, you ain't building a factory, you're going to just come to do what? To stock up whatever little bit there. Health care, water, house. What they going to do? What they think it's only 68 square miles. The government need to buckle up and the people they need to look out for the best interest for the children and the grandchildren. Ain't that you're against somebody, but everybody secure in the borders now. Big England, Canada, and America, them about they can't take them. Twice now, both coming out of Dominica and end up in St. Kitts, they're going somewhere. Something looking wrong. I more believe that these people just send them out, to bring them in St. Kitts, because St. Kitts got this way nowhere. So they need to buckle up. Buckle up, St. Kitts, are too small for this kind of thing. Why are you going to put all these people when they come? 10 of them going to come. You're going to keep them. And next 10 of them going to come. What are you going to do with them? Where are you going to put them? And people don't have ball, they can't get a job, water, this and that. Mr. Cornelius, think it is too slack. And that's why you see people coming and taking the advantage because no immigration, go in and check them out. When you come into somebody's country, you're supposed to address where you're going. If you come into the airport, somebody's supposed to respond for you. They put a tag in your passport, and whenever you're going back out, the immigration take it, and then you're going back out.
Well,
that ain't. Huh?
That happens. Yes, that happens.
It happened there.
It happens.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. But how much of them coming now to maybe to the waters?
Oh yeah. Well, I think
Nobody. I mean, Mr. Connie, is a serious thing, you know. People supposed to know who in the country. Nobody supposed to come in the country illegal. You don't know who they be. You don't know who these people be. Some of them could be rapists, killer. You don't know. You just see them pop up, and you don't know who they be. You don't know where they come from. You don't know that their background. They need to do background check with these people. I mean, think it now, lucky come. What am I saying? No law. Nobody cares. Want to come and do other like so.
All right,
Yeah. People must understand every country got rules and regulation when you have to live, and they need to buckle up, you know. Because one time, one time I come into Newton, I say Newton got a lot of Spanish. A man gonna watch me face and gonna tell me he gonna bring in more. I say, really? You see? That's the kind of thing they're doing up there. I need to pull up and tighten up, eh? Okay, bye.
All right, caller. Yes. Well, with regards to immigration, we do have immigration in St. Kitts and Nevis, and we do have immigration laws. I think what you may be referring to is the strengthening of the immigration laws and customs, immigration, and generally national security across the board. Really tightening up and implementing measures to ensure that there is a proper border protection and control. But we do have immigration, and when you come into St. Kitts and Nevis via a formal port or a recognized port of entry, whether it be the airport or seaport or whatever, you do go through the process. What you may be referring to in terms of people coming into the country and are not registered are those who come into the country illegally. For example, those who come via both the Haitians, the Cameroonians, and those who've come from the other islands. But if you're coming into a recognized or a legal port of entry, you do go through the process. It is not a case where people come to our legal and recognized ports of entry and there is no due process in terms of checking your travel documents, such as your passport or any other ID, or seeing how long you're going to stay, etc., etc., etc. So there is a due process that people go through when they travel to St. Kitts and Nevis. But in terms of people coming into our country illegally, I understand what you're saying with regards to that. And yes, national security would have to implement measures to basically tighten up and implement measures to prevent these things from happening again. It is 1:25 here in the studios of 98.9, and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Cornelius.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, giving thanks. I've been listening to the program earlier, and I've heard some of the contribution made by the various callers. It's unfortunate that those persons from Cameroon who were detained not to be found according to the process or the processes. It's unfortunate because a voice like myself and others, there would be sentiments and otherwise there would be criticism. But critiques only makes me stronger. I will continue to be a voice for the plight. I will continue to be a voice in terms of solidarity. But that does not mean that all of the responsibilities of individuals who has their own responsibility to bear would be rest on my shoulders and the few shoulders of those who would echo and lend solidarity to, in whichever way, of unification. We have heard of the European Union and we have heard of other unified bodies of people who's trying to get together. Yet there would be skirmishes, there would be wars like in the Sudan, let us say in the Sudan, but there would be wars also in Europe with Russia and Ukraine. So war is not restricted and skirmishes is not restricted to one geographical space, be it on the African continent or the European continent, in North, South America, and so forth. Because as nations become of age, things will not be always perfect, and these skirmishes will happen from time to time. How long they would happen for, I have no idea. I have no control. I have no monopoly on it. But what I would want to see is peace. What I will want to see is unity. For us Christian people, don't you read in the Bible that it says how good and pleasant it is for brethren to get together in unity? So what must I promote? Division? I must promote unity at all costs. Would my promotion be instantaneously? No. Do I know the end game of that time? No. But my voice will always be for solidarity and unity. It will always be, ever since I was awoke to know. I have had visits from my guests, and we have had conversations where my guests will tell me that they went to Ireland and they went to Norway on vacation, and they visited the old grandma's place and they visited the old grandma's place. I cannot say I have never been to the continent of Africa. I don't know how many generations I have far removed from. And kudos to those who will go to Ireland and England and whatever part of the world they will go to. Kudos to them, because they have remembered their ancestry. They have revisited where their ancestry came from. Well, I have the same rights to do, and will want to, and would wish in the future I can visit, and I can get better guidance. A tour guide will guide me. It's just Kamala Harris who visited the castle in Ghana the other day, and her father, being a Jamaican, would have been, 4 or 5 generations removed from his ancestry. How could I forget my root? No one should forget that. So you want me to forget my root because somebody tell me that I am not an African.
All right.
I have become of age. And it's only people who don't have the mind and the perspective to know these things in life and the reality, and how bad it is. We could come from a broken home with drunken uncles and prostitute aunts and so forth. But that does not negate that that's your home. Your home is your home, however broken it was. The responsibility is on you now to make difference. If you can, whatever way you can advise your drunken uncle or your prostitute aunt from being or from stemming that illness, if it would become an illness, if it is an illness, from going over and rubbing off on the next generation of their children.
All right, caller.
So just a little synopsis of, I want to put the record straight with those who will want a few of us and want to say that, all of the responsibility because these guys abscond from whatever community center, it's you to be blamed because you keep talking about that. No, we are just pieces in the puzzle that we're trying to do things for humanity at large, on a larger scale. Humanity right across the board. We don't want to see the war in Ukraine either, but they know what they're fighting for. Thanks for listening.
All right, thank you so much, caller, for your contribution to this program. And that brings us to the end of this edition of Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. As promised, the latest information that I have from the police, I will now share it with you. So I have a media release dated April 27, and I also have another press release. I'll share the one from the 27th first. It says that the Ministry of National Security hereby informs the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis of a developing situation concerning the African detainees that were rescued at sea on March 28, 2023. On March 28, 2023, the St. Kitts and Nevis Coast Guard responded to a call for help at sea. The situation turned out to be a rescue mission for a number of Cameroon nationals who were found alive after their boat capsized after leaving Antigua and Barbuda. The Cameroonians were transported to St. Kitts, provided with medical and psychological care, and detained at a government facility pending repatriation to Antigua and Barbuda. As of April 26, 2023, 9 of the 14 Cameroon nationals have escaped from the detention facility on St. Kitts. By the morning of April 27, 4 of them have been found. 5 are currently at large, and law enforcement officials are continuing the ceaseless quest to locate them. A total of 17 Cameroonians were brought to St. Kitts by the St. Kitts Nevis Coast Guard on March 28. Regrettably, 3 of them were deceased, having perished before being rescued. After initially agreeing to accept the repatriation of the other 14 Cameroonians, Antigua and Barbuda has now rescinded this offer, hereby cancelling the pending arrangement. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis continues to pursue workable and diplomatic solutions, as it is duly bound so to do. The public will be provided with information updates as necessary. Should anyone have any information as to the whereabouts of any of the escaped detainees, be sure to contact the nearest police station or law enforcement agencies. It also says here that the police are currently searching for 5 Cameroonian detainees who unlawfully left a government detention facility on April 26, 2023. The police are reminded that harboring any person deemed a fugitive or assisting said fugitive is in any attempt, to evade law enforcement is a criminal offense subject to prosecution. The public's cooperation in the swift... Sorry, I'm reading something and the print is very small. In the swift resolution in this matter is greatly appreciated. And yes, that is the latest information that I have regarding the escaped detainees. Until next time, you guys stay safe and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good one. Bye-bye.